Good morning and welcome to Morning Thoughts for this Tuesday morning, August the 25th. Our scripture reading this morning is from the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verses 1 through 7, the story of the water from the rock. All the congregation of the people of Israel moved on from the wilderness of Sin by stages according to the commandment of the Lord and camped at Rephidim. But there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people quarreled with Moses and said, "Give us water to drink." And Moses said to them, "Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you test the Lord?" But the people thirsted there for water, and the people grumbled against Moses and said, "Why did you bring us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst?" So Moses cried to the Lord, "What shall I do with this people? They are almost ready to stone me." And the Lord said to Moses, "Pass on before the people, taking with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand this staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock at Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water shall come out of it, and the people will drink." And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel, and he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the quarreling of the people of Israel, and because they tested the Lord by saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" This is the word of the Lord. A reading this morning from The Royal Way of the Cross, Letters and Spiritual Counsels of Francois Fenelon. The future is in God's hands, not yours. God will rule it according to your need. But if you seek to forecast it in your own wisdom, you will gain nothing but anxiety and anticipation of inevitable trouble. Try only to make use of each day. Each day brings its own good and evil, and sometimes what seems evil becomes good if we leave it to God and do not forestall God with our impatience. From The Royal Way of the Cross. God acts. He acts in his own time. So often we know what we want and we tell God and we give him terms. Tell him what we want and when we want it and in what conditions. And sometimes God has to let us think he's not answering our prayers or he doesn't care because we don't get what we want on our own terms. And yet, if we tell God what we feel we need and then leave it to God to provide our needs, he does not fail us. He never will. He knows what we need before we even realize it. And he provides, just like water from the rock. That water is such a spiritual symbol. He provided them everything they needed. But they grumbled when they didn't get it when they wanted. The amazing thing is today, sometimes we still grumble to God, and God's a big God. He can take it. He can handle our grumbling. But when we accept his will in faith, he gives us everything we need. He's an amazing and awesome God. With that in mind, have an amazing and awesome Tuesday. Have a blessed Tuesday. I'll see you this evening for Evening Thoughts. Bye-bye.